Okay, how you guys doing?
Doing very
Good.
well, thank you.
I
I
know.
would,
I was talking like that for I had to stop when I came home because I just came back from London and I was hello everyone. I was like, okay, enough is enough. Stop doing it.
Yes. Oh
yeah,
my God. I
yeah, I noticed. How did you find being in London? Is it a week or
think
how
it's
long are you
better
here?
like this way. I think it's better. Yeah, you
Yeah,
can see me
almost.
better this way.
Yeah, it's good.
Yeah, that's good.
Was it better the other way?
No, it's fine. It's not it's a
You
either
can't even
or.
it's
It's
no, it's
not a
no.
better thing.
Oh, it's the same. Okay.
It's
Yeah, it's the
exactly the
same.
same.
It's not a better thing. It's just
Okay, good.
whatever works.
All right, good. I
Yeah.
just was saying
But
whatever way y'all could see me better. That's all. What is
Ye-
this?
yeah,
Yeah,
either way is good.
yes.
Yes. But I
Um,
don't know. You know what?
what is
Give me a
it?
second. I'm gonna go this way because I feel like I'm closer to the camera this way. I just
Yes.
Yeah,
feel
you
further
are
away.
closer. You are
Okay, yeah,
closer that way.
I
Yeah.
like that. Okay.
Yeah. You
Okay.
look cute. Where you going?
Interview.
Oh, okay.
I look
Oh, that was a nice. Okay.
so maybe I should show more of my outfit since I look cute.
Oh
Right? I guess so.
yeah.
Yeah, I
You
like
look
that.
adorable.
Thank you.
Oh goodness. You know what? I also December 21st, 2021, I was scheduled to interview you guys. It was set up. I sent the Zoom to the manager back then, and none of you showed up. And so
Huh?
it's been 3 years I've been hoping on for this, and so I really appreciate that you guys are here today.
Maybe we didn't know about it.
I'm
We
sure
had to not have known about
yeah,
it.
yeah, I'm sure it was the case, but it was yeah. So I've been hoping on for the last 3.5 years. So yeah, I'm really excited that you guys are finally here today. So I appreciate it.
Amen.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're happy to be here too.
Yes, and I saw that both of you have just spent one in the Arabian desert and one in the streets of London. I mean, how have your breaks been?
Oh my God.
Yes,
Yes.
incredible.
Yes. I was in the Arabian desert having the time of my life. It was my mother-in-law's 75th birthday.
Wow,
So we went out there and we went to Dubai and it was amazing. So
wow.
yeah.
Yeah, she was like an Arabian princess out there in
Yes,
the
like let me
sands
flow,
and
flow.
beautiful.
Yeah,
And I was in the streets of London, honey, letting them have it, having the time of my life. It was incredible.
wow.
Love it there. I love it there. I had a great time. Obviously, Blaque it's been years though, and this was kind of like more vacation for me. I was over
Mm.
there with my husband who's a jazz singer. So it was like he was working and I was playing. So
Oh, okay.
I had a great time. It was incredible.
Wow, good. Did you go to Nando's at all?
I don't eat chicken, but
Oh,
I
you don't
did
eat
go to
chicken.
Nando's.
You went to Nando's?
I did go to Nando's, but only because my husband eats meat and the other people we were with there, I didn't get a chance to have any, but I heard great things. And yes, we did visit Nando's for sure.
Okay. Yeah. Wow, goodness. It's really amazing to have you guys, and I'm glad you guys rest and stuff. My name's Namdi. I'm by day not like a secret identity. I'm a children's mental health therapist, and by night because it is about 9 o'clock at night. I've been using this platform to celebrate a lot of our artists and stuff, but also in part highlighting mental health within the Black community. Because some of your journeys you've had some amazing journeys and successes, but then there's been some lows, and I think there's a lot a lot of people can learn from the lows, which the fact that you've overcome those things and are still shining bright now is something that we probably try and highlight so that we can make sure others who are listening can think, actually, what, if it can happen to them in the spotlight, we can take that opportunity to get help. So that's the general premise of what I've been trying to
Wow.
do over the past
Wow,
five
that's
years.
amazing. Well, first,
Yeah,
let
that's
me say
awesome.
before we get started into the interview, I just want to give a shout out to Natina Reed because today is her birthday.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes.
So you
Yes.
picked the best day to interview us and talk to us because it is her birthday and we are celebrating. That's why I'm all dressed up in my cute little all black wedding
Wow.
outfit. I'm about
Wow.
to my birthday cake. I have a birthday cake here, and I'm going
Wow.
Yes.
to blow out the candles. And my sister Brandi is going to be right there with me. We're going to be on FaceTime
Yes.
and we're going to sing happy birthday along with Trin, her son. And it's going to
Wow.
be amazing. So thank
Wow.
you.
Yes. You
Yeah.
know what? When we scheduled it to for today, I was like, wow, this is just, nothing happens by accident. It's like we were
Yeah.
supposed to be here together doing this, and it's just super amazing. So thank you
It's
for
so
having us,
amazing.
but this is a very special day for us. So thank you.
And I just want y'all to say one time on the camera. Hold up. I got to do it. I got to do it. Let me just do this real quick.
What?
Let's say happy birthday, Natina.
Happy
Happy
birthday!
birthday. Okay.
2, 3. Hold on. Wait. Hold on. Let me get this. Hold on. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me get this out of here. Okay. All
Okay,
right.
there we go.
On the count of 3. 1, 2, 3.
Happy
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 birthday,
birthday, Natina.
Natina! Yay!
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
I just said, oh, I wasn't even recording, y'all.
Oh,
I'm
you.
so sorry. One more
Oh
time. One more time.
Okay.
All
no!
right. On the
Okay.
count of 3. Happy birthday, Natina. 1, 2, 3.
Happy
Happy birthday,
birthday,
Natina.
Natina.
We love you.
love you.
Wow.
Okay, sorry.
That's all. I mean, how's that? I mean, when did you guys decide to celebrate her passing instead of it being a time of mourning? When did that sh transition shift happen?
Man.
Actually, from because her death date and her birthday is so close, there's only, a couple days apart. I think the first year when it was coming up to the anniversary of her death and her birthday, we decided, we're not going to treat this as something sad. We're going to always try to keep her memory and her legacy alive. And so we
Yeah.
started doing like events, celebrating her life and just all that she was, and not just to us, but to our, her fans, our fans, people
Yeah.
love her all around the world. So we just wanted to continue to celebrate her. And every year since then, we do that, whether we're having something big or if it's just something small between, Shamari and I and the family, we definitely want to celebrate her. She's still
Yes.
a part of our legacy as Black. She's still a part of our family as, our
Yes.
personal lives. So, we definitely take that sadness, even though it is, I'm the crybaby in the family. So, even though, I may be like, oh, I'm crying, but it's just, it's just remembering her and keeping her alive is and her legacy alive is what we have to do.
Yeah.
Yes, it's so important. She wouldn't have it any other way. Like she loves Black so much. She loves us. She believed in us so much, and she had our back while she was here, and we just continue to have her back while she's in heaven because her energy is so strong, and we just feel it every day, and especially today, like it's just so strong. Like I even talked to her son Trent today, and he
Oh,
just said, "I just been crying all day because I could just feel, my mom's spirit and her energy is
wow.
so strong today." And so but it's like it's a happiness too at the same time. I mean, of course, we're sad that she's not here, but
Mm.
it's a happiness that we are able to still just, lift her up and celebrate her birthday and do all of those things that we know that she would love. Because let me tell you one thing about Natina, she never missed one birthday of ours. Never.
No,
Okay.
no.
Whenever, like for me, she was at every single birthday, even if she showed up 3 hours late, she
Right.
was she was there.
She was there.
Yeah, the club be
Yes.
closing down and she just be
Yep.
walking in. But I say, oh my
Yes.
God, Natina's here.
She
Wow.
made it.
Yeah, but that's it's the difference, especially for those of us when we're losing loved ones. It's like you could either celebrate the life you had with them, or people are excited that they've gone because man, they were, So that's always an important thing to be able to cherish those moments, as hard as it is. But I know she's also in a better place where, singing and dancing and looking down at everyone as well. So I think that's always a sort of a difficult balance to be able to have.
Definitely. I mean, we know that she's up there partying, having the time with her and her sister and Lisa,
Oh, oh
family.
my God,
She's
yes,
celebrating for sure. And we
she
want to
is.
celebrate her here on Earth. So
Definitely, she is. Oh my God, let's not even talk about Lisa and her right now. They are having the
yeah,
time of their
they're
life.
having a great time. They're having a great time. Just know they're having a great time.
Yeah.
I guess the question then becomes, and normally I don't start this way, but because we brought it up, did it ever, were you guys ever pressured then to say, we probably need another person to sort of come in to sort of not take her spot, but to sort of add her energy to the dynamic? Was that ever something that was pressured or thought about, or?
No.
It was never pressured. No, never pressured because thankfully, Blaque has always had a lot of control over our careers and the things that we wanted to do from the beginning. So obviously it was a conversation. It had come up from people just asking us, but Shamari and I had already made that decision that no one would ever replace Natina.
Oh
We were going to
yeah.
keep this thing going. It would always be the two of us. So, it never pressured for us to make that type of decision, but has the conversation come up with other people? Absolutely. Just wanting to know how would Blaque look moving forward. But Shamari and I had made that decision from day one that it would never be anyone that could replace
You're right.
Natina.
Natina is irreplaceable.
Hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
it's just like TLC trying to replace Lisa. They could
Mm.
never replace Lisa, and they
Yeah.
never did, just
Yeah.
and we never will. So, yeah.
But how did you guys manage to deal with, I mean, I think, loss at any stage and any timing is difficult, but for you guys still extremely young, in the middle of your, start your career success, how did you guys personally deal with that and manage her passing?
Whew, man, it was hard. It was really hard, and it still is hard. I think that one thing is important that we just don't do. Like when we go through things, I feel like trauma therapy is something that we should try. And it's something that I didn't try. I just had to learn how to just deal with it myself. And now looking back, I kind of regret that I didn't start trauma therapy because I still feel like it's certain things that I'm not able to accept. So I'm definitely looking at getting into some trauma therapy because I feel like that's going to help me. Because I mean, it gets easier, but it's still hard. It's like it never goes away. The
Mm.
pain and the trauma and the memories, the sadness. So all you can do is just keep on going and keep on pushing and just do what you can to just better yourself. And I feel in my heart that trauma therapy would definitely help.
Yeah.
So that's something that I'm looking at doing.
Okay. Yeah, Brandi, yourself?
Yeah, I think that just I know for personally for me, like I've dealt with a lot of loss over my life, over time. Of my mother passing at 18.
Wow.
Um, then, Lisa passing, and then dealing with Natina not too long after that. So I think that God really just built me a certain way to be able to endure the things that he was going to put in my life. And so I don't know, I have a strong foundation, but at the same time, I think, God only knows how I was able to do it, because it had to be him to put those type of burdens on me, and for me to be able to do it in front of the world, being 18, having a hit movie at the time, having a hit record, having to go tour, and literally burying my mother, and having to go do a show, like how I was able to do it, I have no idea. At 42, I still don't know how I did that, but I just think it just set me up for the next thing, you know what I'm saying, to be able to handle. And so, I was able to handle it, and then I was able to, handle, Natina, and I'm still handling it. It's still something that you don't get over. You just learn to deal, and you learn to live with that type of trauma. And like Shamari said, therapy, neither one of us had that type of therapy. We should have definitely sat down with someone to really like talk us through it and give us the tools to really deal with it, because it's going to come back up. It's not like it's a one-time thing and it's done. It's going to come back up in your life, and you need those tools, to kind of learn how to cope.
Especially with losing Lisa, like you said, Brandi's mom first, and then Lisa, and then Natina, and they were all just unexpectedly, just unexpectedly happen. And, so I just feel like we've gone through a lot, and PTSD is real.
It's real.
Yeah. So that's something that, it's good for us to kind of just look at and see if that will help, because I really feel like it would, for me.
Yeah, I mean, when I spoke with um, um, 702
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Mila.
Mila. God, I can't remember. Yeah, so yeah, and so the first time we spoke, she was talking about when she was having her son, and the trauma of the birth and everything, and just being strong. And then it was like, and I was like, oh, so how was therapy? And it says both her music, it was just pretty much just praying and hoping for the best. And I was like, wow. And sadly, as Black, in America, I'm here in the UK, even in my heritage is Nigerian, it is universal, where we just think either we pray about it and we just go strong. But unfortunately, here in the UK, Blacks are 4 times more likely to get detained under the Mental Health Act and put in institutions, because we don't learn those tools. And then when it just comes up, it's in crisis mode. And so that's a lot of what we're trying to do with kids. It's like, hey, look, it's okay not to be okay. It's okay to talk to somebody who doesn't know you, who's not going to try and just to listen and give you strategies to hear and reshape the thinking and stuff. But as I said, it's the good thing is that you guys are able to talk together and be able to share those traumas and stuff. But it's amazing that you guys are able to still celebrate Natina on her birthday. But going back to the beginning, because it's as I said, we've got an international audience, people who tune in from all around the world. So we always like to start off where you guys were born and raised, and sort of track your journey from there. So,
all right.
who wants to
I
go
was
first?
born.
Yeah.
I'll go first. I was born in Detroit, Michigan,
Okay.
and I moved to Atlanta when I was 5 years old. I have been here ever since. So, whenever someone asks me where I'm from, I always say I'm from Atlanta. I was born in Detroit, but I'm from Atlanta because I've been here so long, from like kindergarten all the way through college. And
Okay.
so Brandi can tell you, where she was
Yeah,
born.
we were actually both born in Detroit, Michigan.
Wow.
Yes.
Yes,
Okay.
so crazy. Yes,
Right. It
and
was destined to be. I'm moving over here now.
destined to be. Yes, born in Detroit. and shipped to Atlanta. Came to Atlanta at 10.
Okay.
And I've been here ever since. I've moved back and forth a few times. My family is still there. I still have a lot of family there. But Atlanta's home. I always say I'm part Peach. I'm just as much Detroit as I am Atlanta at this point. And yeah, Atlanta is home.
Oh, so
Yeah.
that's why I saw on IG that you guys were at Motown. So I was thinking you said Homecoming. I'm thinking I didn't understand. So I can relate that that's actually, Detroit, the Motor City, Motown. So that's
Yes.
when.
Mhm.
Okay. Do you have, I mean, I'm sure somewhere at 5, you probably don't have too much memories of Detroit.
No,
No.
I don't. I really don't. I just know I was born at Hustle Hospital and I lived on 8 Mile in Ohio on the west side. So that's why I stopped. I used to tell people I'm from Detroit. I used to tell them that all the time. And then they started asking me questions. So you know about this and you know about that. And I'm like, no, not really. I'm like, you know what? I'm from Atlanta. Yeah, I
Yeah,
know I can
okay.
tell you everything about Atlanta.
What about yourself, Randy? Do you remember much of Detroit? And the
Yes.
reason I ask is because Detroit has this reputation of being, violent and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I love Detroit. Let me tell you, I have a lot of great memories of Detroit. My mother, she had still lived there when she passed. So, Detroit was home for her. She would never leave. She was
Wow.
Detroit to the end.
Yeah.
As much as I wanted her to get out of there, she would not. But my grandmother's still there. So I'm in Detroit a lot.
Okay.
I lived there. I was married before, and my ex-husband is from Detroit, so we live there. And yeah, Detroit is known for its Motown history, but it's also known for its reckless violence and
Wow.
all of that. But what I will say is that Detroit is making a comeback. I mean, it's a lot of money has been put into that city, and they're trying to make a serious turnaround. And I'm super excited for it. I'm actually looking to go and buy some property there because
Wow.
it is turning around to become a major competitor in the United States. Like this city is turning around. So don't
Wow.
sleep on Detroit, guys.
Wow. And you can literally like look across the water and see Canada. That is so cool.
Yes.
In downtown Detroit. Like that's amazing. Like see another country just looking across what's the name of the
Yep.
body of water? It's not
Windsor. It's not
It's Windsor,
it's
Canada,
Windsor,
but
Canada.
what is that? It's not Lake Michigan, but it's something else.
No, it's what is that lake?
Well,
We
it's a
don't
lake that
know.
you can look across and you
Yeah.
can see Windsor, Canada, and it's so
There's the
cool.
lake.
Yeah, goodness. I went to college in Milwaukee, and I tell you, it was the coldest. Yeah, it was really cold. And initially, I moved to the States in '92, and my family lived in Selma, Alabama.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
wow.
Yeah,
Rich
Selma, Alabama.
history there.
Selma,
Yeah.
Alabama. And when I moved to Selma in '92, the mayor who stopped the voting in, where Martin Luther Day marched was still the
Mhm.
mayor of Selma in '92. So since the
Wow.
'60s, when Martin he stopped the march with Martin Luther King across, so he was still the mayor when I got there in '92. So
Wow.
it
What?
yeah, he was still the
That
mayor.
is
Wow.
crazy.
Yeah.
Wow,
But
that is
when it
crazy.
comes to the music side, when did you, so I mean, Samara, when did you start singing then? How did the singing start come to you?
I've been singing since I was 3 years old. I just, I loved Whitney Houston growing up. I was absolutely obsessed with Annie. Okay, do you
Oh,
know who Annie is? Annie,
the-
tomorrow, tomorrow. I love you. Yes, that like I would have like temper tantrums like on the ground, just screaming at the top of my lungs tomorrow. And I just love singing. I that's all I ever wanted. Like all I ever wanted was a record deal. Like even when I was
wow.
13 years old, I would go to school and I'd be like just making up these stories like, yo, I got this producer that, wants to sign me to his record label. You want to join my group? Just asking random people like in school, you want to join my group that I'm just trying to put together. And so I look in the yellow pages, which they don't have telephone books anymore, but back in the
Yellow
day,
Page.
I looked at the telephone book and I found some type of producer. I think it was, I don't know, Tight to Death Records or production or something. I don't know what it was. So I just called them and
Wow.
I ended up interviewing with them and singing for them. And So we formed an urban country group called Boots.
Urban
And
country. Wow.
yes, yes, urban country.
So
So
your Beyonce has nothing on you guys then, on you back then.
yeah, we've been doing country since 1993. Okay.
Okay, tell them.
So yeah, and so me and Natina, we've known each other since we were 10 years old. So when we were 13, I told her about the group called Boots. And I wanted her to come join it. And she came and joined the group. So it was me and Natina and two other girls. And then Natina's father, he's a pastor. So he told her he didn't want her to sing secular music anymore.
Wow.
So she ended up leaving the group, and I kept going on. I ended up joining another group that was R&B, kind of like four-girl group, like in Vogue, called Intrigue. This is when I was about 14 years old. And we would like perform at all these different talent shows throughout the city of Atlanta. And one day we performed at a talent showcase, and I saw this beautiful girl up there with bell bottoms on, hip hugger pants, 12 years old, performing solo, singing Brandi, I wanna be down. Yes. And I was like, oh my God, she was so good. So then when she got off stage, we talked, and her name that's Brandi right down there. That's
Okay.
Brandi, who I'm talking about. So Brandi, she got off stage from singing, and I was like, what's your name? She's like, my name is Brandi. I said, where are you from? And she said, I'm from Detroit. And I was like, oh, I'm from Detroit too. We're sisters. And ever since
Yes.
then, she was
Wow.
12, I was 15, and she ended up coming and joining the like Intrigue R&B group that I was in for like a little bit of time. And then something happened where she wasn't in the group anymore. And then Natina ended up oh my God, I'm sorry. I'm just telling the whole story, Brandi. I'm so
No,
sorry.
it's fine. Keep going. Keep going.
Okay. And then Natina, we was in the group. Natina ended up hooking up with Ronald Lopez, which is Lisa Lopez's brother. Left Eye, Lisa, Left Eye Lopez. And so she called me one day because she apparently talked her dad into letting her sing secular music again or something. I don't know, but she was on the road once again. So she called me and said, I hooked up with Lisa Left Eye Lopez, and she wants to build a group around me. She was real feisty like that. Can y'all hear me? It's a big old helicopter. But so I was like, oh my God. I was like kind of scared because I was like, I don't want to leave my group that I've been with for so long, but I am such a huge fan of TLC, and Natina's like one of my best friends. So of course I'll come join the group. And so we needed one more girl. And I remembered that girl, that beautiful girl that was up there on stage. I Want to Be Down by Brandi. And I
Yeah.
said, you know what? I'm going to call her up and see if she'll come join the group. So we called her up. She came and auditioned, and the rest is history. We have been together ever since. Lisa fell in love with us. She even stole us from her younger brother, Ronald, and said, this is my
Yes.
group.
Yes, she did.
Wait. So, what are your parents saying and doing when I mean, sorry, you're making all the decisions? I'm thinking, is mom and dad not like, hey, okay, what's going on with the contract? What's
Yeah, they were so very supportive of us, especially like Brandy's father. He's a musician from a group
Right.
called Rick, Ran, and Dan. Like her auntie is Sherelle, so she has
wow?
her family. She has a very, like, her grandfather is one of the Miracles, Bobby Rogers from Smokey Robinson and the Miracles.
Wow,
Okay.
wow, wow.
So I'm sorry, Brandy, you telling. I'm just telling all
No,
your business.
no, I am loving it because listen, this is a treat.
Yeah.
This is a treat.
I need
Shamari,
I need a charger for my phone.
Shamari
I
does
mean,
not
it's about to
like
die.
to do interviews. Let me tell you, this is the secret about Shamari DeVoe, y'all. She really does not like to do this. So me
No.
sitting here watching, I'm like, oh.
Oh wow, are you serious? Because she's just
I just, I mean, I've always been an
Enjoying it.
introvert. Listen, this is the truth. Like, this is how you know. You never know. Like, you never know what's going on in somebody's mental. Like, I'm an introvert. Like, that's what I am. In my heart, in my soul, every single test that I take to this day, introvert, introvert, introvert. I can't get out of introvert. So I just never liked doing interviews back in the day. But you know what? When you do things that you don't like to do or that you fear doing, like public speaking and all of those things, you get better and it starts to become easier for you. And that's
It
exactly what
pushes
happened. I
you.
just kept doing it and it became easier for me.
okay.
That's
Yes.
it.
And I am enjoying it, guys. Let me tell you, this is great. So,
Oh
Wow.
like
my
she
God.
said, I grew up with a musical family. Coming from Detroit, my dad was in a group. My aunt sang or sings. She's still doing her thing. And my grandfather, my mother's father, comes from the Motown group, The Miracles. So it's, a part of my DNA to love music. I made the decision that I wanted to do it professionally when I was 12. And that's when I met Shamari. Like she said, in the talent show world, Atlanta was a big talent show scene back in the 90s. Everybody was getting deals that way. And that was the goal, to get a record deal. And yeah, we started out together with the group. I joined her group, Intrigue, and then that didn't necessarily pan out. But then when she got the call from Natina about working with Left Eye and her brother, Shamari called me, and then Blaque was formed, and here we are, all those years later.
Yes.
And my family has always, we've been in the music industry. It's just kind of like my turn. I always kind of felt like that, like it's kind of joining the family band, So
Wow.
yeah.
When you guys were doing in a band and stuff, I mean, who were the groups that were out that you looked up to and thought we could be like these ones? Who, apart from TLC, but I mean, who?
Right. Well, definitely TLC was a major influence, not just because, Lisa was our founder or like she was everything to us, our sister, our mentor, all of that. But I think we all loved them individually even before we started working with her. Like TLC was just that group, you wanted to either you fell in love with all three of them or you had a favorite one in the group that you identified with, or, so, but, at that time it was all about the female groups. You had Escape, who is still doing their thing. You had SWV, who's still doing their thing. You had In Vogue, like Shamari's group was modeled after In Vogue. You had, I think her phone might have died.
Charging. Let me see.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She'll be right back. But yeah, all of those groups, even the Supremes, like I come from the Motown era. I'm a huge Diana Ross and the Supremes fan. So, definitely looked up to them for sure.
But then at 12, then when you tell your mom, what made you sing at the mall?
So Brandi Norwood
Yeah.
had a record, her first single, I Want to Be Down, right?
Yeah.
Who I absolutely loved, who actually Shamari absolutely loves. Like we're both super huge fans of Brandi Norwood. And I just love that song so much. So I was singing at all the talent shows that I would go to. Like I loved it. And it just happened to be her name was Brandi too. So it just worked out,
Oh, people didn't think you were just trying to be a
I would say
celebrity
my
look.
little spiel, like, I love her song. I would, set it up before I sang it, and just let people know I'm a huge fan, and that's why I chose to sing this song, and I would sing.
Was it always in the plan to actually get into become a recording artist? I mean, I know you've got the family,
Oh
but
yeah, I had no other dreams other than becoming a singer. Her computer died. I'm jumping back on. Okay. She said her computer died. Kiara's trying to press this in 1 second because
okay, yeah. Once she okay, she is.
She's back. Okay, good. Let's go.
Yeah.
I don't see her yet.
Yeah, no, she hasn't. Yeah, she's joined in.
I am so sorry, guys.
Okay, there you go.
Let me tell you, my computer died, guys.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's
All good.
But I'm back. Can you hear me? Things are still looking up.
Yeah,
everything's the same. You're good
Everything's
to go.
the same. Okay, great. I just had to move into a closer to the outlet.
To the outlet. Yeah.
Here. Okay. Yeah. Great.
yeah.
Things are great. Sorry
Brandi was
about that.
saying how you both were big fans of Brandi Norwood, and so we attracted to the song she was singing. Think, oh, that's my song, and
yeah, I was telling him why I always wanted to sing
Brandi. She's like one of my favorite singers of all time. Let me tell you, she is amazing. Like she doesn't even understand how much I love her.
Yeah.
One time I went up to her and said, "Hi, remember me?" And Ron said, my husband said, "Don't ever go up to anybody and say, remember me." I said, "But why?" You just don't do that, man. You just don't do that.
Let me tell you, Shamari loves her. I remember I have a story. Shamari and I were in the bathroom in Vegas at I think it was the first BET Awards. And Brandi comes in the bathroom. You remember that? She came in the bathroom and she
What?
started talking to us. Yeah, she started talking to us.
Oh,
And
yes.
and we were looking at her like, you know who we are. You remember? She just was
Yes.
like,
Oh my
it
God, I
was
remember
like,
that. I was like, wait a minute, Brandi knows me? Like, you know,
you
like,
know,
like
like, and she was like,
seriously.
we were like, oh my God.
I'm telling you, that's why when I saw her later, I went up to her and said, remember me? You know,
Oh,
because she,
Yes.
she knew. She was
oh
like,
Yes.
my
I was
good.
singing her, all her songs and doing all her little runs and everything since I was like 15. I just love her. She's like one of my favorites. Like her voice is just amazing.
Yeah, she had a really remarkable debut album, and it was
Mhm.
age appropriate, which was very rare
Yeah.
for producers to be able to find the right songs and stories for somebody that young to sing and really have that breakthrough where even older people are like, oh, this is a nice album and stuff. I don't, yeah.
Yeah.
So that
Yes,
was that
Yeah.
was
They
really
got it
a great,
right.
yeah, they definitely
they
did.
sure did.
Yeah.
Sure did. I'm
Now,
trying to
did
think.
did Natina sing? Because I know we know her as rapping, but was she a
Oh
singer
yeah.
when you first met up?
Yes, Natina could sing. Let me tell you, Natina was an all around talented person. Okay. She wrote a lot of material that we ended up using on our first album.
Wow.
She could produce music. She
Wow.
sang. She on our very first album, there's a song called Mind of a King that Natina leads. She just yeah, Natina could do a lot. She played guitar by ear. She played piano, like she just yes, very very musical inclined, like yes.
Really is. I was going to say that we actually have been getting a whole lot of music from our producer named Travis Cherry because when she was alive, she went and she recorded and she was just in the studio writing and just putting all her ideas down. So me and Brandi are going back in the studio to put some of the music out, but we're actually going to like record our backgrounds and vocals
Mm.
on it along with her. So you guys will
Yeah,
hear it soon. So it's amazing, like how
yeah,
talented.
you'll get a full black record with all three members very soon. It'll
Wow.
be very incredible. Yeah.
Tina is, man, oh my God. It was almost like she was like, I don't know, man. It's like she was my security or something. Like, it's like Tina was just like, when things go wrong, like just Natina, she'll make it right. Like I always felt like I always was so inspired by her. And especially like how Brandi said, I never like to do interviews. I just used to like look at her doing interviews and think, oh my God, she's so good at it. She's so amazing.
Yeah.
She doesn't have to sit there and think about what she's gonna say, just comes off the dome. She doesn't have to write
Mhm.
anything down. And like I just every now and then I have to say, let me channel my Natina energy because she
Mhm.
really does help get me through tough times. Like whenever I feel scared, I'm like, you know
Mhm.
what? Natina wouldn't be scared. Like what would
Wow.
No.
Natina do?
Wow.
Yeah.
Was that
She,
ever?
I've never
Yeah,
seen any fear on her ever, and I mean, I know she was human, so she had to feel fear, right?
yeah.
But
Yeah.
she never showed it. Like I've never seen fear on her ever. I've only seen her be like, "Yo, like nobody can tell me I can't. I'm doing it." Like, no, and if you tell her no, it's an even more. Oh, okay, then watch. Like she was very much that person.
Yeah.
Like you could never tell her she couldn't accomplish anything. She was going to make it happen,
Let me,
especially for this group,
let me tell
for
you something.
sure.
Let me tell you something about Natina. When we lost our first record deal with Columbia Records, she flew by herself to New York City, sat down with Sylvia Rome, and got us a record deal with Elektra Records. Flew back to
Yeah.
Atlanta, called us up, and said, "Hey girls, I got us a deal." Like what?
Just,
Wow.
yeah,
He was
just like
never gonna
that.
movies, books,
Yeah.
deals, and everything. Like she was always thinking next level. That's how she was.
Wow. Was was that ever showcased, that side, that creative side of her? Because, and I know labels are very much of a let's just do a model of TLC, but that part of her being able to be an instrumentist and writing and stuff, did the label try and sort of cover that down so that you had a role?
No, not initially. When Blaque first started, like because we came in the door with Left Eye, we had a lot of creative control. So even from our very first album cover, the bubble wrap that we had
Mm.
on, the colorful bubble wrap, that was Natina's idea. You know, like, oh, we want to be in this bubble wrap. And people were like, okay, that's weird, but fine, let's do it. And it worked. Like us being able to write on our first album, pick the songs that we wanted. Like I said, Natina wrote a lot of the first stuff. She had a lot of say in, the musical direction. They looked to her for
Wow.
that,
How old was she at this
so
time, though? Just
it
as how old was she around this time?
a
Well,
teenager.
16,
Yeah,
16 years old. We got our first record
yes.
deal. She was 16. Uh-huh. And but she was writing like the songs that she wrote that were actually on her album. She started writing those like 2 years before we even recorded our album. And they were so dope that the record label, Tommy Mottola, everybody, Trackmasters, Tone and Polk, Steve Style, everybody was like, yo, these are off the meter, Lita, like they used to say.
Mhm.
Off the meter. That's how they talked in New York back in the 90s.
Yeah.
They was just saying it was just incredible. Like, man, yeah.
So we're
Just
talking,
a
we're
little,
talking Prodigy. We're talking, that was like Jermaine Dupri,
yeah,
Teddy Riley, those Dallas Austin, those type of young kids who can. But it's very rare to have females. So if if she was,
right,
it's very rare to have females doing that because if she was male, she probably would have, be doing what the Neptunes and others were doing. And that's probably a sad
yeah.
thing about the industry at that time that young females weren't given that, taking that seriously. But wow, that's amazing to hear.
Yeah,
Um,
I think we were just on the cusp of that happening where women were being respected
yeah,
in
we're
those
missing.
different roles, and then obviously Natina, she got out of here so early that she didn't get a chance to really live out her full potential, but we were on the brink of that where the industry was excited to accept women in different
Mm,
roles in this industry.
yeah. You kind of skipped, Samari, when you mentioned that Natina calls and says, "Look, I've been discovered by Lisa and the stuff." When you guys actually met the Lisa Lopez, how did was were you guys? I mean, maybe because you're in Atlanta, you probably saw you ushering everyone down the street, so it probably wasn't a big deal. But was it a big deal seeing Left Eye for the first time?
Wait, what was it a big deal seeing
Yeah.
Lisa Lopez
Because you
for the
pushed through it
first
as if it was
time?
just like, yeah, it's just so Lisa, we just signed a deal. I was thinking, okay, maybe it's just
Oh my God.
No, this is
No.
Left Eye. This is
Let
Left
me
Eye from
tell you.
PLC.
I used to work. I played TLC in a talent show. Like we were fans. Okay, like we with the baggy clothes, the cross colors, and all the band-aids and the
Yes.
condoms, all of that. Like man, I was so like starstruck when I was around Lisa. Like it took me a minute to warm up to her because I was constantly just looking at her like this. I'm telling you,
Wow.
it took me a minute. I was like, man, this ain't real, man. She had my house. She had my high school graduation.
Right.
I
She
cannot
did.
believe that
Yeah.
like seriously, like, no, it was not, it was no, because she's so
Yeah.
talented. Like, so it took a minute for me to finally be like, okay,
Yeah.
this is mommy Martian, we used to call her, because
Right.
we're not of this world, we're Martians. So
Right.
she was mommy Martian, and we were the kid Martians. Martian number one, Martian number two, and almost Martian.
Almost Martian. I didn't quite make the Martian
Oh, how
Yeah,
come?
Brandy, I don't know
role at that
why did
point.
we
I was
do Brandy? I'm
I,
sorry. I'm
I don't know.
sorry.
I was the baby and I got
Uh,
treated that way. Trust me.
She was almost Martian. That was funny. And I was
oh,
Martian number
There
one.
are
Martian number.
stories.
yeah.
Yes, I still have the jersey that says almost March. I'm gonna frame it. I'm gonna frame it. I still have
Wow,
it.
goodness.
Yes.
What was it? Yeah, I mean, I think it's one thing to sing. Amita was telling me that it was one thing when she went into the studio and she realized how hard it is to actually record songs. What was that transition like for you guys? Actually going into a studio and you had, I don't even know if you who the Trackmasters were at the time when they were in the studio with you. Did you know who they were and did you understand how hard it was to actually lay your vocals on in the
Well,
recording studio?
the good thing about
Well, we
that,
were actually
yeah,
doing it before. Yeah,
yeah,
like, being in groups like Shamari was in Intrigue, so they had already recorded plenty of record
Okay.
demos and stuff trying to, seek a record deal. And then myself, I was able to record some songs with my dad and because that's what you typically do when you're looking to get a
Oh,
record deal. You
making
try to
demos?
make demos and all of that. So by the time we got to recording our first album with Trackmasters and the other producers that we worked with, we kind of knew the process and what that would look like. It's just about at that time working with that producer, figuring out, your working relationship with them and making sure that you're, delivering what you needed to deliver for the record. But the
yeah,
actual recording process, we
Yeah.
kind of knew what to do
yeah.
with that. Yeah.
Actually, with as far as Electro Records goes, I got my first demo deal. They used to give demo deals back in the day. I
Oh, yeah, yeah,
don't know about
yeah.
that, but I got my first demo
Mm-hmm.
deal in 1995 with Electro Records. So
Yeah.
fast
Full
forward,
circle.
yeah, to 2023 when Electro Records signed us, based on Natina going up there, it's just crazy. So yeah, we was doing it before we actually started recording our first album with Blaque, like Brandi said.
But what about, did you know who the Trackmasters were when you worked with them?
I had no idea
No, no.
what it was.
I think we kind of learned as we, as it went on, because they had actually done, so many records and worked with
Yeah.
so many people before we got around to knowing them. But they had just, I believe, Trackmasters had just kind of inked their deal over
Mm,
at Sony Music when Black got our deal. So it was kind of like they put us with them because they
okay.
were kind of like the new producers over at Sony. So,
Ah,
yeah, it was a kind of a learning. Once we got with them, we spent so much time with them. We went up to Barrisville, New York, freaking recorded
Yeah.
with them. Corey Rooney. They had
wow.
another group at the time. It was a female rap group called Femme Fatale. So it was us and them, and Billy Lawrence was working with them
Oh,
at the
Billy.
time, and yeah, it was just like they just kind of threw us to the wolves with those guys.
Yes,
And
they
we were
sure
up
did.
in New York, working with them, and it was crazy.
And who is chaperoning you guys?
Well, at
Well,
that time, Trinae,
Shanae is like one of Lisa's best friends. They like sisters. They met at Peachford. Didn't they meet at Peachford?
they sure did.
Peachford is a mental health clinic here in Atlanta.
Oh,
Hmm.
I don't know if it's still called Peachford or not, but they met while they were there.
oh my goodness.
Yes,
And they became like best friends. And yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So she
she was
sent
with us. She took
Trinae with
care of
us.
us. Yeah,
Yes,
she took
Trinae
care
went
of
up
us.
to New York.
Yep, she made sure we was good, and we
Okay.
had a good time.
It
Did
was
Danny come?
crazy.
Danny didn't come to
No,
Bear
he never
because
made
Danny
it
is
to
Brady's
Bearsville.
dad.
Yeah,
Danny
my
is dad.
dad.
Yeah.
Okay.
So once we started touring, my dad, because I was still a minor at that
Yeah, also,
time, so my
yeah.
dad traveled. Yeah, yeah, I was still a minor, so my dad traveled with us. Once we started touring, but making the album, that first time we went to New York, up in Bearsville, it was Trinae. Trinae went with us.
Okay, okay.
Shout out to Trinae. We love you,
Yeah.
Trinae.
Yes, girl. We know we drove you crazy up
We
there.
sure did.
But then, at that young age, and you've seen Lisa and everything, did anyone then take you to the sort of music business school and explain, okay, this is what happens, and so at least you get the schooling on how much money you're gonna make and how to make sure you don't give away all your
No,
publishing,
there's
and
there's
okay,
no music business school, really. You hope that, I mean, obviously Lisa had been there, done that, learned a lot in her career, and especially at that time, a lot had happened with TLC. But there was no like music business school. You kind of have to like learn as you go. You hope that your lawyers and your management and your financial guidance, they're guiding you in the right directions. It's a lot of learn as you go type of
Wow.
thing. Shamari's dad, actually, who was a very, very smart man, he did a lot of work, looking over our financials for us in the very beginning, making sure that, we weren't going crazy with our money and we were trying to make smart decisions as young kids because we were kids. We didn't know. We were young, had a
Yeah,
lot of money at our hands, and
yeah,
wanted to just do whatever we wanted to do.
yeah.
So,
My father is still on top of me to this day. He has his master's, he has an MBA, and like he's like, so, what are you doing? Like I told him I'm an international investor now, and I invested in Dubai, and he just got quiet. Like, was that not the
oh,
right thing to do, Daddy? I mean,
oh my God.
like, come
Jeez.
on, who doesn't want to have properties around the world? Like,
Yes.
but he didn't never say much about it. But he's I'm big now. I'm grown, and
I'm
I
big and grown.
Yeah.
That's the mother and the
Making
wife.
decisions. Making
he
decisions.
he made sure that we were good back in the day. Like if we need anything, I'm sure he has it like our old contracts that we
Okay.
Yes.
signed back in the day. Like he has a lot of our business paperwork and different documents and stuff. So yeah.
And I remember speaking to Matthew Knowles, and he was talking about when he had to do that role for Destiny's Child, that he had to learn how to have the relationship with the label so they didn't see him as a threat. Like Shanice, when I spoke to her, her mother, they didn't, the fact that her mom knew about the business meant that, man, we can't make much from her. So they didn't really, as soon as they can get rid of her, they did, because it's like, oh, if we can't make stuff from you, then we don't really need you around. I mean, how that's a balance to be able to, artists would tell me that you have to know, but you can't let people know that you know, and be able to sort of
Yeah.
handle that business. And was Samara, was your dad able to play that role when it comes to his contracts? Make sure you got the right lawyer. The lawyer isn't a Columbia lawyer or a Sony
Yeah.
lawyer. I
Yeah,
mean,
he could he definitely was able to play that role.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, it's a bug. So yeah, sorry. Um, yeah, he came in and he helped us out a lot with setting up our LLCs and
okay.
making sure that we were on top of our spending until one day we decided we didn't want him anymore. It wasn't me. It wasn't me.
Was it
Natina,
me?
no, Natina fired
Oh.
him. We
Oh,
went,
the Taylor. Oh, damn.
she
I'm
fired
sorry.
my daddy, man.
Oh, how
You
I
know
mean,
what? I remember now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I
Yeah.
think I think my I think Natina called him and told him that she didn't want to work with him anymore, and Lisa might have been on the phone listening in. They were like
Yeah.
two peas in a pod, let me tell you.
Yeah. I
oh,
think I remember that. And then we ended up
We
getting
were
with
young,
V Brown.
dumb and fun. We
Yeah.
but yeah,
oh,
so I guess I don't know why, but yeah, so he ended up just not working with us anymore. And for whatever reason, I don't know why Natina felt the way she did. I just know she just didn't want my dad managing us, a business managing us anymore. So
okay.
yeah, but that's
Yeah.
okay. We ended up getting somebody that just let us call them up anytime we wanted. Say, hey, I need $10,000. Can you send it over?
Yes.
They sure did. And that wasn't very smart because the
Right.
money runs out after that. So my dad
Wow.
was trying to
Exactly.
help us save money. So we got with these different business management managers that came in and they're like, oh, anytime we wanted anything, we
Yeah.
just called them and asked them for it.
Wow.
Oh, I feel
Yeah.
like I need $10,000 today. Can you send it over? Sure. Oh, I need
Yeah.
something. Let me get it. And we
Wow.
end up
Yes.
owing so much money in taxes at the end of the
Yeah.
year. It was ridiculous.
Yeah.
It was
Wow.
Yeah.
ridiculous.
How did how
After my dad got let go, that is.
how did you guys reconcile that though? Because I don't know how that is, because I know one thing, you can, it might seem as if you've got a real strict dad who's really looking out for the three of you, but then it could be like, oh, he's spoiling our fun. So how did you guys reconcile the fact that, Natina, for whatever reason, said, it's, I can't handle this, and Did you take it personal or did you just go with the flow or with
No, at
like
the time, you know what? At the time, I went with the flow, and I trusted Natina for some reason. It was just so because Natina was like this person that she was about
She
her
just
business.
knew.
And at that time, and at that age, I was so young. I was just like, Natina knows what she's talking about. We never fell out because of that or anything. Me and my
okay.
dad, everything was cool. He told me what happened. He said Natina called him and this happened, this, that, and the third. And I was like, oh.
Wow.
And then I was just like, you know what? Hey, this is a group. We're sisters. We're in this together. We have a fan base, and we need to continue to move forward as a team. And I went with it.
Mm.
Went with it, and Brandi did too, right?
Yeah, I think it was so much happening so fast. At that time, things were happening so fast. You didn't have a moment to really think so hard about it. It wasn't like
Mm.
it was
Yeah,
like, oh, okay, this is happening. Oh, okay, now we're moving over to V Brown. Okay, great. Like, okay, what's happening next? Like that was
yeah,
our life. Like we didn't have time to really like
yeah,
mull it
exactly.
over and think about it. It
Yeah,
was like, oh, okay, this is happening. Cool. Where do I sign? Okay, great. It was really that fast paced for us.
just
So
happy to be in the position that we were in.
yeah, like we were
Make,
living a dream.
to
Wow.
make records, to have Johnny Wright, who managed
Yes.
Justin
NSYNC,
Timberlake,
yeah.
NSYNC, and Britney
Blackstreet,
Spears
Blackstreet's boy,
as
yeah, yeah.
our manager.
Oh, he took over. Wow,
Yeah, he
oh, is
managed.
that the whole NSYNC connection? That's how he got
Yes,
JC.
yes.
Okay,
I mean,
okay.
we're just loving
Yeah.
life. And so we went with a business manager in Orlando. I think that maybe Johnny Wright has something to do with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So, so if I'm
Wow.
remembering, I know I don't have the brain of an elephant or the memory of an elephant
Yeah, no,
like
you're right. You're
this
doing
girl
good.
right down here has, but I'm
You're
trying.
doing good. You're doing good. That's exactly right.
Wow.
We left V Brown and went over to that company in Orlando. Yep.
Okay.
How was the success of 808? Did it take you guys by surprise how it blew up and how it
Yes. Yes, it did. I don't think 808 was any one of our favorite songs. Like we had a whole nother idea of what our first single was gonna look like. But 808 was actually the last song we recorded. Like the album was done. We thought we were good. And then they ship us out to New York. I mean, I'm sorry, to Chicago to work with Robert Kelly, R. Kelly. And it ended up being our first single. It was a lot more urban and more, than what we thought we wanted to be immediately. Like Blaque is, a pop group. We love
Yeah,
groups
yeah.
like No Doubt. We loved the Spice Girls at the time. We wanted to be little pop princesses. And
Uh,
then you have this very heavy R&B record. And like, what is an 808 drum? Like, what is this? It's
uh.
like, what is so we're trying to like figure this out. And they were like, this is your first single, you're gonna love it, deal with it. And we
Right.
did. And the fans loved it. And we were thanking God every day. I mean, we were on that tour with NSYNC, and it went from us being an opening act to fans coming, and we were putting butts in seats. They were coming to see
Yes.
us. They knew those songs. They were screaming at the top of their lungs when we came out. We were creating our own fan base, and 808 has taken us around the world and back still
Yeah.
to today.
When you mentioned because if you watch the video, it does seem like you are some kind of anime type of characters and stuff. That futuristic sort of K-pop kind of stuff. What was was that an image that you guys were trying to come because you mentioned being sort of poppy and not in an R&B lane. That image because that's the first time we would see you guys in our video. Was that's who you guys were trying to be, that type of image, or was it
It was
different?
all about the Matrix at that time. We wanted
Yeah.
to be futuristic. We wanted to feel like out of this world. We wanted to be something that was not, you had never seen before. And that's what 808, the video, the visual, even us on the front cover of our album with bubble wrap on, we wanted to be completely different. And I think those first visuals of Blaque and what you got to see, it came across like, oh, okay, this is something new, it's something fresh, it's different. its future and where are they going from here. I think we nailed it, honestly.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And then we had Lisa there with us every step of the way, helping us with creative. She had creative control, and she would make sure that we was dressed the part. Like even when we was at 808, and I had on that black bobbed wig with the long two
Yes.
little
Yeah,
ponytails
yeah,
coming
yeah.
out.
Yeah.
I just remember we was when we were getting ready, Lisa was back there because she was in that video. She was like, "Yo, that's some TLC shit right there."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. She showed it.
Was like she was like, man, it's like magic when y'all get together, man. She just, I mean, she was like our biggest fan, along with Natina. Natina, she was in the group and she was our biggest fan. Oh my goodness, we love Blaque, and that's why we still do what we love to this day. Like
Mm,
we have never broken up. We are sisters. We have a sisterhood. We have a bond,
yeah.
and we are just blessed to still do what we love to do every single day. Like we still sing and we still go in the studio and we still do shows and we still just promote Blaque and make sure that we continue to have Natina and Lisa's legacy continue to live on and keep that torch lit for the both of them.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, and it's funny. I didn't realize R. Kelly co-wrote and co-produced because it didn't, I know what he did with Changing Faces and stuff. So I didn't realize that and that song blowing up. Was it, they didn't have to fight with you guys to release it as number one single, or did you always say,
No, we just like at that point, it's like the label, it's their decision. We just had to trust it.
because, yeah,
And we went with it. Thank God we did because it worked in our favor.
Yeah, because all it was a phone call. Lisa just hit up Robert and was like, I need you to put one on my girl." So that's what she
Yeah.
did. That's exactly what she did. And with R. Kelly, he's a night owl, so he didn't like record until after midnight. So we had to sleep during the day just so that we could have energy to record at night. Because I am not a night owl. I like to
wow.
record early. Like I get all my energy, like in the mornings and the afternoons, and then at night. Where did it go?
No, she'll come back, yeah. But how does that work though? When the three of you and you probably all have very different preferences when it comes to singing at daytime and nighttime. Do you just say, okay, I'll sing during the day, you can record at night, or how do you guys compromise?
Well, we just had to do what we had to do. Like when they said, okay, the studio pickup is at 1 p.m., we just go in and we had to do it because, we're signed to a label. This is what we have. As far as going in the studio and recording, most of the time the producers really decide who they wanted to sing what part. Like they'll say, okay, Shamari, I want you on this verse, and Brandi, I want you on this verse, or Shamari, I want you to do the whole song, and Brandi, you're doing the backgrounds. Like it just depends. So we kind of just, complimented each other in that way.
Was there any was there any did you any I won't say disagreements, but if you like the track, but it's like, no, we want Brandy to sing, how do you manage and deal with that at that back then?
If we didn't like the track,
No, if you like the track, but they
if we
want Brandy
liked
to
it,
sing it and you like the track, do you say, well, can't I sing, or how was it?
oh man, if we liked the track, like what was the question again? I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
I was,
because when the producer's picking who's going to sing the main lead, or
uh-huh.
sing the song, but you like the song as well, was there any sort of sort of like, well, how come I can't sing it? Or
Oh, bickering back and forth. You
yeah,
know what? I'm sure there was some feelings deep down within that never got spoken aloud. Because you know, me being the lead singer in the group, I'm sure Brandy probably would think sometimes, when I want to sing, I don't know, but she never really expressed that because at the end of the day, like we're a team. And at the same time, they would give me a lot of the leads, but I would shy away from the leads and like want Brandy to sing it or want Natina. I used to say, oh, Natina, I want you to sing. I don't want you to rap. I want you to sing because her voice was so dope. So it was just kind of like back and forth like that for me. And I'm sure there was a lot of feelings inside maybe that never really were spoken, but it all ended up working together for the best, and the music that we made was incredible, and it touched so many people. I remember we wrote Rainbow Drive, and we all collaborated together on that. That was on our first album, and it was just, there she is.
I'm
And
back. Sorry, it was my turn now. My phone died.
yeah, we're having some death issues here with our devices.
Yeah, no, no,
Um, but yeah, so with Rainbow Drive, it all just worked out because like I remember when we were backstage and one of the fans came up to us and she was like, I was contemplating committing suicide, and then I
wow,
listened to your song Rainbow Drive, and it saved my life, and I'm
wow.
still here. And stuff like that, man, it's just like so touching, and it's fulfilling to know that your music
Mm.
touches people in that way.
Right.
Yeah, and Brandy, I was just asking Samari about whether, because if she was, and this is just from talking to other groups, is that if there was any, if a producer favors one type of vocal, does there become a sense of, well, I want to sing more? And even Lisa had that experience when she in Crazy Sexy Cool, she was very stripped back, so she didn't get to sing as much on the records as she did on the Ooh on the TLC tip. So, from your point of view, did you feel like you were given a fair share to sing as many songs as you wanted, or was that a challenge?
I think that being in a group is a very interesting thing, right? Especially when you're young to trying to navigate emotions and what that feels like, right? So when Blaque first started, we kind of, without saying it, it kind of just happened where when we would record our demos and stuff, we had a formula of like what worked. Like Shamari would sing typically the verses, I would come in on the B sections or the bridge. Like it just kind of worked that way. So then when we got with producers and started recording our first album, we kind of had a formula, right? That was already kind of set in stone. But then when you start working with other people and they're like, well, we feel like Shamari might sound better on this entire record, or maybe Brandi should sing just this part, it can sometimes maybe feel like, oh, well, maybe I'm not doing, maybe I'm not doing what I'm supposed to do. Maybe they don't like my voice, all of that. But luckily we had a foundation around us to kind of think like, okay, it's not the Brandi show or it's not the Shamari show. It's like whatever works best for the group, right?
Yeah,
Whatever
yeah.
works best for the sound of the group.
That's
Whatever,
basically what I just said, man.
whatever
Exactly
this
what I said before you got back on.
Yeah,
really? Oh my
It's
God.
kind of like mirroring like what I said. You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
yeah.
But that's really what it is. It's all about what works best for the group, and then you start figuring out, okay, well, this is my piece and this is what I add, and it's just as much value as what the next person adds. It's different, my value is different, but it's just as important, and it takes time to learn, especially when you're young. Like I said, we were kids, we were teenagers trying to figure that out, but at
Yeah.
the same time, having a foundation around you to really get you to understand, like, yo, it's about Blaque. It's not about, what you want to do or what she wants to do. It's about the group and what makes the group the best. You move in that way.
I
Yeah.
have a question. Is it fall in the UK?
Yeah. Oh, our clocks went forward. They went back. Yes, and but it's not as beautiful as it is out there.
It's
It's
beautiful. Just
cold and rainy in the
look at
UK.
these
That's what
leaves.
it is.
Have you ever just stopped to just take in the beauty of the atmosphere? Have you guys ever just stopped to take in the beauty?
Let
Like
me
this
tell you
thing,
something.
it's fall.
It's fall, but it's cold and raining in the UK. That's what I experienced the
Yeah,
last time.
yeah. If you're
It's
coming,
cold and raining.
it's good already. I
Oh, when
think.
I was in London, honey, let me tell you, I had the worst allergy flare up. Like it was
Wow.
crazy. Like just the snot, the sneezing, the eyes red and watery and runny. It's just, what is
Yeah.
it, man?
Yeah,
I haven't been since 1999. I would love to go back to the UK. I've not been in a minute. I would love, man, let me tell you.
yeah, we'll start looking at how to get you guys to come for shows. But
Yeah,
I
get
wanted
us
to
out
find out
there. We
about
got a lot to offer.
but I wanted to find out about the performance part because we
Oh, yeah,
got you guys vocally, but who was the main choreographer and did you guys all have the dancing and the performance on lock before, it's because doing a show is quite different performing wise, not just the singing. So how was that hard to adapt to?
But
for me, it was it's a lot more nerve-wracking recording than it is performing for me.
yeah.
It's just a weird thing because, like, when you're on stage, you feel the energy of the crowd, and it's you go fight, flight, or freeze mode. You know what I'm saying? And we're not gonna freeze. So, you're up there and you're just like enjoy you feeling the energy, and you have rehearsal beforehand. So when you rehearse something, you know what you're gonna do, you know exactly what's happening. You have the choreographer, like we had hi-hat, we have Fatima, we had
Oh,
Swoop. Now, these
Fatima.
are all choreographers, from back in the day. We had
Oh,
Jamal and Rosero, Chuck Maldonado, Don Draco Johnson, like all of these people just, and Larry, they all was either our choreographers or our dancers. And we put a lot of hard work in. So when it was time for showtime, it was time. And we knew that we was going to give it our best. So the nerves just kind of like, it was like no stage fright for me. And I know it wasn't for Natina.
what about you, Brandi?
No, Shamari got it right. We were rehearsed very, very well before we hit the stage. Our very first tour. I mean, we rehearsed that show. We knew by the time we got on that stage, we knew what we were doing. And I think we wanted it so bad. Like
Okay.
we wanted this show to be successful. We wanted to, be who we ultimately ended up being, this pop successful R&B girl group. We wanted it. So we wanted to give the best show that we could possibly give. Like, we love tour life. Like, tour life is the best life. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But then how is it opening up
Okay.
in sync? Because at that time they were so big. I mean, so you're coming on stage in front of 20,000 screaming kids, and so now it's like you're opening up. Was that a challenge? Just opening up in sync before you became the main act later on.
no, like, they loved us. We were like their little sisters. They embraced us. They wanted us to do well. We spent a lot of time with them in Orlando because we had the same management. So, we got a chance to really get to know them. It wasn't like,
Ah,
oh, we're just opening act on the tour. Like, no, we were a family. Like, we had the same management. We hung with
Yeah.
them, so it was just, they wanted us to do good. So I
mm,
remember we used to play pranks on them. Like, it was just fun. And being in front of that many people, I just think by the time we were able to do what we love to do individually, we were already prepared. You know what I'm
mm,
saying? Like, we had done work outside of Blaque to prepare us for what we were about to do with Blaque. And so when it was time for us to go, it was just like, okay, it's time. Let's go. It's no time for nerves. It's no time to be scared. Like, we're here.
ah.
It's like you're at the Super Bowl. You got to perform. So
Moment,
it's
guys, real quick. You're editing this, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, hold on one moment.
The okay. But who was the best dancer then?
You know what? I would say best dancer. Natina probably was the best dancer at that time because she would be very, like, precise with, like, sticking the moves, right? Natina was a stickler with the like, I just think we all have our own individual thing. So I don't know if there was, quote unquote, a best dancer, but, like, she was putting on the show. I will tell you that. Yes. She would be someone to watch for sure. Yeah,
Oh goodness.
for sure.
At the time you guys came out, I know that there were because you guys were, I would say, would you say third generation of female groups? Because you had 3LW, you had 702, because you came out towards the latter 90s into 2000. So that was like, you've already had the En Vogues and Ex-Girlfriend,
Yeah.
and then we've already then had Total and other groups. So you guys then when it was a new set of young female groups that I mentioned.
Yeah.
Did I won't say competition, but with who was the sort of competition or the kind of groups that you came out with at the time that you guys were up against, or friendly rivalry, not anything else.
I do remember, and now we love them. They are our sisters, but I do remember how 702 used to look at us. They used to be like, because we came out after them.
Yeah.
We were after 702, and I remember we was like the new kids on the block. We did a show with them in LA. It was for some network. It was a TV network. Remember, and we were like across the hall from them.
They were managed by Brandi's
Yes,
mom.
at the time.
Okay. Yeah.
Yep. And it was not the warm welcome that we were expecting to get, initially. It was kind of like, and we were like, oh, okay. So but that was so many moons ago, and we love them, and they are our sisters now. And but it was a little bit of that rivalry then. We did multiple shows with the original Destiny's Child. We toured with them, and I don't really feel like there was any kind of competition or anything like that. It was just they were doing their thing. They were actually signed to Sony as well, so we were label mates. And we would just, it was, I think Blaque, we had our own thing. Like, maybe we felt competition with TLC because, we were futuristic. They were putting out fan mail, and we wanted our album to be, just as big as theirs, stuff like that. But we had our own thing. I don't feel like we ever felt like we were in competition with anyone but ourselves, honestly.
Yeah.
And then you guys did Bring It On. I mean, whose idea was it to get on, to get in the film? And was any objection? Did you think, no, this is not for us, or?
Wasn't it Johnny Wright that actually got us in the?
Yeah.
I think they reached out to our management. The producers reached out to Johnny Wright, and they wanted us. We didn't have to audition. We didn't have
Wow.
to do anything. We didn't know that it was going to be as big as it is and was. So we went in
Right.
and we was like, okay, we met Gabrielle Union. We did the whole cheerleading camp. Me and Brandi, it was easy because like me and Brandi were both cheerleaders before. So Brandi was
Okay.
like the captain of her cheerleading squad. And I used to cheer for all the local recreation centers in Decatur, Georgia, and Lithonia. And and so when we went to cheer camp, we really dove into it, and we lived, breathed, ate being a cheerleader. Like it was so real. Like we did all of our stunts. We were getting lifted up in the air. We were doing everything,
Wow.
and it was the real deal.
Yeah.
And we had no idea it was gonna blow up and be like the #1 movie in America, a cheerleading cult favorite to this day. I see people dressing up as us on Halloween,
Yeah.
and it's every year.
Right
It's just
now.
right now. It's people are sending us pictures. Like every year, it's like, wow, we were really in
Yeah.
a movie that influenced the culture like that, and it's truly
Yeah.
incredible and amazing feeling.
Everyone was asking when I said, okay, I'm having you guys on. They said, why? What happened to Blackout? And your debut album went platinum. You had the hits, and then it's time to follow up. I think it's the stuff that most fans are like, wow, what really, especially here in Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah. I
Well,
always wondered like what it looked like because obviously we're not there. We're not all over the world. We live in the US, so we know what it looks like over here.
Yeah,
But like what did it really look like and feel like for Black Ivory? Because that's,
yeah.
that was it for over there. What did it look like? Did it look like we just kind of fell off the face of the earth? Like what happened? You know, like how
Yeah.
did it feel over there?
Yeah,
But
because yeah.
we didn't fall off the face of the earth. Life happened. Things happen. You know, we were let go from our first label, which was Sony Music. They dropped us, and then you know, like Shamari said, Natina ran and picked up the ball and got us our deal over at Elektra. That's when you got I'm Good from the Honey movie soundtrack. We know that I'm Good did pretty well over there because we ended up touring I'm Good when it first came out. We did a nice little run, overseas run for I'm Good. So we know that it did pretty well. But after I'm Good, I'm sure it looked like what happened, you know, but life happened. You know, Natina had decided to leave the group. Shamari and I was trying to figure out, what do we do? Do we want to keep going? You know, how do we replace her? At that time, when we did do our European run, when I'm Good was out, we did add a member to do the tour with, because we were just trying to figure it out. And then so many years had passed. Shamari got married, you know, life happened. I got married, you know, Natina became a mom, you know, we're just living life at this time, but Blaque is still like here, you know, like we never let it go. It's just like, okay, well, we want to live our lives. We have other things we want to do. Shamari went to college, you know, like things started happening, but then it's like, okay, wait, we got to get back to Blaque. And right when we decided to get back to Blaque, Natina passed away, you know, so.
That's 2 weeks after we finally got back together, and we all went to the Left Eye Music Festival, which is something that the Left Eye production puts on here. Like, we support everything that Lisa's family does. So we went to the Left Eye Music Festival, and we hosted the event, and we sang 808 on stage. And that was the last time that we performed together, but we literally, right before that, we were in the studio just now, you know, about to pick things back up and get going again. And then she passed, like Brandi said. So that was really devastating for us.
Wow. The because you recorded Blackout, so that means you had a lot of material. Um, did it feel as if it should have made the light of day? The stuff that you did, or did you feel as if?
Oh yeah. I mean, we have so many songs that the world has not even heard, but definitely Blackout. Blackout was an album that was supposed to come out. That was our sophomore album. So that was the album that was coming out from Columbia.
Yeah.
And we executive produced that project.
It came out.
And it ended up coming out. Yeah, the
in
music is
in
out
Japan.
now.
Yeah, because somebody said that how come it was released in Japan and not here
That right there was just really hard for us, because that was the album that we executive produced. We had a lot of energy and time put into that album, and then they let us go. We lost that deal, and then Matthew Knowles took the records and put it out. I don't know what happened with that. He bought I guess because, you know, he's like the man at Columbia Records at the time, you know, with Destiny's Child and everything is going on. So I guess he had the power to go there and get something that we worked so hard on to make come to fruition and just put it out. And at that point, we didn't even have a record deal or the means to even promote the songs, because there was no money behind us. There was no music videos. There was no promotion. There was no nothing. So that really hurt.
Yeah.
I guess the question then becomes, being female, because in the industry, did it at that time? There's some advantages when it comes to in certain times, but when it comes down to those hardcore business side, yeah, and actually life, because you know, getting married, having kids, and those type of things, men don't experience. I mean, yeah, they get married, but they can still be on the road, and you wouldn't know the difference. How is it how much do you guys have to work twice as hard? Because it's almost as if you've got the early days, quickly have the career, you take the break, and then you come back. Do you guys plan it out and think about it, or is it just like we just go with the
No,
flow?
it's not a plan. You know, it's definitely not a plan, because when you start your career, especially we were so young, you know, you're thinking at 16, you're thinking at 25, you're going to be in a whole nother position. You know, like you just 25 sounds so far, when you're 15, 16, you know, and then when you're 25, you're like, damn, you know, it didn't look like what I thought, you know what I'm saying? So there was no plan. You just have to kind of, you know, plan as you go, like, you know, take life as it's happening. You don't plan to, you know, work so hard and then lose a record deal. You don't plan for your mentor to pass away. You don't plan for your group member to pass away. You know what I'm saying? So it's like all of those life things that were thrown at us. We had to just figure out what to do with them and how to make the best out of what we were given, really, you know, because what I don't think we had a lot of everybody's story is the same, but it's different. And we have a lot of challenges and trauma and real life drama that happened to Blaque for us to end up where it happened. It wasn't just, oh, we put a record out and it didn't do well and they shelved us. No, we had a huge career. We did major things, but we had major setbacks to land us where we ended up landing, you know? So yeah.
You know, it's crazy because started with Lisa and then Natina and you know, those that really set us back. And then it was just a lot, like Brandi said. But we're still here and we're still going and we're still strong. And, you know, we are superwomen. You know, God is good and he built us strong, and all of these experiences that we've gone through as a group have made us to be so much better and understand life and purpose and all of those things so much more than we did before.
Yeah, and I was going to come to that because I know, Shamari, that you have something with your husband. Is it Married for Life?
Yes.
So how did you guys, what was the whole premise behind stuff? Because I think, and I know, Brandi, you've got is it nail polish or make it?
Yeah, it's a nail
Yeah.
polish line.
But yeah, just smart. Just start off with the Marriage for Life, just understanding how you guys just, you know, because it's part of the story where you guys are now.
Yeah. So we have been together almost 19 years, 18 years, and together 23 years, and almost 24, because we got married on the 5th anniversary of from the day we met, which was March 10th, 2001. And so yeah, the Married for Life walk was basically birthed from pain and trials, tribulations. So me and my husband went through a lot of different things. You know, we've been together almost 24 years. So of course we're going to go through a lot. And we were able to overcome our challenges. So we thought, why not help other couples that are going through different challenges in their relationship, get them through those challenges and know that they can work out, they can come out and be even better than they were before and love each other even more deeply and, you know, reaffirm their love for one another. So while in the midst of us going through those challenges, we hooked up with some really good marriage counselors, Martez and Wadrina Layton. And Martez is the visionary of the Married for Life walk. And while he was helping us through our challenges, once we finally came out, he said that one day we were going to be saving families and saving and, you know, just and helping the community. And we did that together with them. We do the Married for Life walk, and it's coming up on the 7th annual Married for Life walk coming up in April of next year. And we're taking it all around the world. Like we want to do one in the UK. We want to do it in Japan. We want to do it all over the United States, of course. And it just really helps. You know, people walk for things like cancer and autism, and people rarely walk for love and for saving families, keeping them together, you know, because families are the foundation of our community. And without our community, we don't have anything.
Yeah.
So we're just opening up the doors to different people to let them know that it's okay to seek help. It's okay to get counseling. It's okay to have marriage coaches. It's okay, even when you think it's not okay. I feel like it's a stigma, especially in the Black community with men, that they don't want to get therapy, because I mean it was like pulling teeth trying to get my husband to get a marriage counselor. It's like, come on, man, I want to be with me and we have to be together forever, but God, we need some help. You know.
Hey.
So yeah, so that's how that came out, and now we're business partners with our marriage counselors who help save our marriage. Well, first God, of course, God is number one. He led us to Martez and Regina Layton, and so now, they've been married for like 35 years, and they asked us to renew their vows at their
Wow.
wedding. So
Oh,
we're just yeah, this happened like 3 years ago. But I guess I didn't tell you, Brandy, but
yeah,
yeah,
I didn't know you
we
married
actually
them.
we
That's
actually
cool.
officiated their vow renewal, and
Wow.
we are doing different things around the country. We're in talks, we're having meetings, and we just want the Married for Life walk to really come out, because it really does save a lot of people. A lot of marriages, we have like 300 couples that come, and it's just fun. And we have a gala, a love celebration, where you come and it's like date night, and you slow dance, because nobody slow dances with their partner anymore. Like, come on, man, what happened to that? It like just went out with my junior high school or something. What happened to it?
Done.
We always
Prom,
be
you're
slow
done.
dancing. So now we're like bringing it back, come back to the foundation and the love that brought you together, man. So yeah, I'm so happy and blessed to be a marriage ambassador.
Wow. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, how
And
do you
now I
manage?
can finally come because I'm in the marriage club.
Yay, because Brandy is married. She just
Yes, I can finally come. It's been
yeah,
7 years.
she celebrated 1 year. Oh my God, Brandy. Oh my God.
Oh,
And I got my gift. Thank you so much for my
Yes. Oh,
beautiful man. I
good. And you
love
got
it.
mommies, right?
I
Because I
mommy's
said mommies.
too.
Okay. Okay.
Yes, yes. Thank you. I'm gonna give it to her when
Okay,
she'll get
good.
it next week.
wow.
Cool.
Congratulations. I guess and I guess it does seem like it is tough, especially if you are in the industry, to maintain a healthy relationship because there's so much, I would assume, temptations and then so much other things that could come in and disrupt, who's your career is better than mine and oh, you're in the spotlight and I'm jealous of that and all those things. I mean, and I guess having something like that married to life, does it sort of help ground and bring it down to strip everything away?
Well, what it is you're around like-minded people that, pour into your marriage. And like you can't be around people that don't care and don't want to see you have a successful marriage. So the Married for Life, it brings so many people together. And it helps. I don't know if like stripping, when you say stripping you down, like you mean like to the bare, like just like day of declaration, like,
Yeah,
take me,
well, no,
I
it,
apologize,
well,
like this is me to the naked body.
no,
And
no,
like I didn't know what you meant by like
no.
strip you
So
down.
it isn't Rendezvous of BBD and New Edition and Shamari of Blaque. It is, two human beings. Forget all the
Oh yeah, yeah,
accolades
yeah.
and
Yeah.
Take
celebrity.
me
We're
as I
just
am.
regular mum,
This is
dad,
me.
Right.
husband, wife. That's what I mean. Is stripping
Oh
it away
yes.
from all the celebrity stuff. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it definitely I mean, we are not that. And we never really even felt like that. Like as far as like I am this, like Ron, he don't even feel like he's a legend. Like he's a freaking legend, yo. It's like, but so I mean, we just look at it like we're just helping other people to have successful marriages and relationships and families, and keeping their children with both parents is so important, because even that, we need our fathers, we need our mothers, we need them to be
Yeah.
together, because they both
Yeah.
pour so much into our lives and our growth, and we turn out so much better. We go to
Mm.
college and we graduate and we're not in jail, we're not having these mental issues when we have our mom and we have our dad. So
Yeah.
that's what we look
Yeah.
at. We're trying to do that. We're trying to help save families.
Yeah. And Brandy, you had I noticed that you've over the years had your own sort of line.
Hmm.
How did you, was that, how did you get into that?
So Be Polished was birthed out of the pandemic.
Um,
We were home trying to figure out what to do with our lives. And I've always been a super girly girl, love hair, makeup, nails, all of that. And I wanted to do something that kind of spoke to me personally and Be polished. It's just something I used to do with my mom. I used to go get my nails done with my mother. I have so many memories as a little girl going to the nail salon with her. She was, my mother was definitely a girly girl. She loved all of that. She loved to be dialed up, and we would go, and that would kind of be like our mommy daughter, thing. And I wanted to do something to kind of honor her, but yet, still do something that I was passionate about. And that's kind of what happened. Be Polished was born, and it's been what, 3 years, going on 4 years, and we're rocking and rolling. It's gonna turn into, my dream for Be Polished is to turn into a full cosmetic line. So like we're gonna introduce more products, but I wanted to start with nail polish. And I feel like it was an industry that's like not super saturated. Like a lot of people had like hair and lashes and lip gloss, and I wanted to do something that was just a little different. So, started with nails, and yeah, that's it.
Wow. I mean, I think that's the thing for you guys is that you've not let setbacks and things like that kind of hold you back, and being starting a business, looking out for other families and other married couples. I mean, really, really taking things to another level, because that's one of the things about helping inspire artists of today, where their music isn't making money, and so then they're looking at how then do we have a career, and still do stuff that we love.
Yeah,
Um, when
yeah.
when did you guys then think about, okay, pandemic is over, let's get back on the road? How did who started who had the itch about being back on the stage and
Oh no, I think it was both of us. I think everybody was ready to get back to it. Like it was a
Yeah,
long sit down, and it was like the first show that you can get, you want to do it. So
exactly.
yeah, that wasn't a hard decision at all. Like I think we both were just ready to go. We wanted to get back out there when the world kind of started opening back up. Fans are ready to, see, hear some good music, see, people that they love. And yeah, it was time to go. So that was not a hard decision at all to make.
how hard is it been to get those types of shows? I know we did just had the Queens of R&B with
Mhm.
Escape, SWV, Total, and
Maya.
702, and Maya as well.
Maya. Mhm.
But to really put yourselves out there, is it hard because there's a lot of other 90s groups that are out there, or what's the how is that balance?
I mean, it's wide open. It's easy. Like
Yeah,
they want to see real music. Like people want to see that 90s music, and they're just thoroughly entertained by it, and the market is so wide open for that. So it all
yeah,
it is just making a phone call.
yeah.
Okay.
I think we're in a great era right now where people really want to hear that music again. Obviously there's ebbs and flows. There's a time where it's like, it wasn't about live music. It was about, just videos and studio stuff, or rap
Yeah, yeah.
music, or you know what I'm saying? So now we're in an era where people want to hear it, they want to see it live. And we are just blessed to still have the records, that people want to hear. And so it's a blessing that we can still, perform all over the world. We're looking to come over there, hopefully soon. So,
Okay, okay.
yeah.
So finally, the music, the album, the with Natina, when should we, the stuff that you said you have? I'm just thinking the Beatles recently just did a track where they all got John Lennon, Paul McCartney, Ringo, and George together. I mean, when
Yeah.
should we expect this magical? Is it Christmas special or something, or what?
No, it's not a Christmas special, which we have to do. We've always talked about doing
Yeah.
something. But we're still in the recording phase, so 2025 for sure.
Yeah.
Okay, okay. Shamari, I saw you on the BET show, um,
Encore.
It's the
Encore.
encore.
What, so you wouldn't guess the guest who has been on my show at least 5 times is Pamela Long. She's
Oh, I love her. Of course, oh my God, I talk
she,
to her. I talk to her every single week. Like ever since the encore, we have been talking every single week. I didn't know she was on this show. That's so
She's
cool.
she's I think she has the record of how many times that a guest has come on. Yeah, so I love Pam. She's one of my
Oh,
favorites. So, but I asked her how was it? She said it was the hardest thing she did, having the cameras 24 hours on you, and it provokes those emotions that you didn't think you'd have. I mean, how was that for you being filmed 24/7 and being away from the family and everything?
um, it was definitely different. I mean, we had to move in a house, and the cameras were in our bedrooms. The cameras were when we wake up in the morning, when we go to sleep. It was pretty overwhelming. So I tried to just really focus on the music, which was
Mhm.
hard too because of all the bickering and the drama. You know, but the it that's what it was hard. It was not like other reality shows because it was, for one, I thought it was a great idea because it was music, and that's something that I love to do and I've been doing since I was a little girl. So I would thought it would be a great opportunity to focus on music. And it just kind of like turned out to be pretty sour. Even though we had amazing music, the group just couldn't get along and couldn't decide what to do or how to do it. And then Keely ended up getting pregnant, and everything just kind of broke up. And it's a shame because we had some really, really dope music, and I love it. And any chance I get, I'm still going to perform Skeletons to this day because
Yes.
I'm we put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears into it. And it when you don't have that sisterhood and you're trying to do a group, things don't work out because it's the bond that's going to keep you together. And like, with me and Brandi and Blaque, we have a sisterhood, we have a bond. So
Yeah.
that's why we're still doing what we love to do.
Yeah, I mean, Brandi, did you ever think about doing that, or what did you think seeing Shamari on TV with and the challenges?
Oh yeah. I mean, I totally support Shamari, whatever Shamari is doing. And when it came to that show, I was on it as, a guest appearance, and just to see, it was hard to watch because I hated what was happening with the
Mm,
ladies, because the idea was a great idea, but they couldn't get it together. And being in a group, you understand the challenges, right? What comes
mm,
with that, but it's like to really think that you can force these relationships and make them really, really meaningful, and really make it work for it to be a long-term thing was kind of wishful thinking. And we get it's TV and all of
mm.
that, and that people want to see drama, but at the end of the day, I just felt like it was a bad look on just what female groups
Yeah.
look and feel like, because
Yeah,
you hear that, like, oh, female groups are so much drama and you can't get along with women, and it kind of shed a light on that, which that's not the truth all the time, you know what
mm,
I'm saying? And so
yeah,
I hated it that was the stigma of the show, but the idea of
Yeah.
putting these female, powerhouses together to make a
yeah,
successful project was a great idea. I just think the execution was poorly done.
yeah.
So
Wow.
yeah.
Well, on a positive note, can you let the fans know what we can expect from you over the next I would say what 6 months. So what can we tune in to expect from Blaque?
Yeah, man, more everything. Gonna see us on the road, see us, hopefully overseas. We can finally get over there. More music, new visuals, definitely just more of Blaque, more of keeping Natina and Lisa's legacies alive. And yeah, just more of it. We are not going anywhere.
Nowhere. We are not. We are here to stay. We are together forever. Okay.
Yeah,
To infinity and beyond. And we
right.
love our fans and we love music. We love doing what we love and perform and all of those. So yeah, you'll see definitely more of us.
Okay, I always ask my guests at the end, what is your favorite? album? So I can start with you, Shamari. What is your favorite? It used to be his favorite song, but that was always a challenge for my guests. So it's now what's your favorite album?
You mean like as far as Blaque's album
No, no,
or
no, no. Just you on a road trip, and they says, "Here's your favorite album," so you can go on this long road trip, and you can request one album to listen to. What would be that album that you'd
oh
pick?
my God, it would be Babyface. I
Which
love
one?
Babyface. The This Is for the Cool in You and
Okay.
Yeah.
man, these feelings ain't feelings anymore. And what else? He's got so many hits. I mean, it's like
You
him
need a Babyface compilation album.
Okay.
yes, like his greatest hits.
Okay.
Yes.
Like I would just love that. I love me some Babyface. Like I've been true to him since I was a little girl, and I will stay true to him to this day. Like I could listen to him the whole entire time, and it just puts me in a place of nostalgia, if you will.
Yes.
What about you, Brandy?
I have two that came to mind. I have Michael Jackson Off the Wall,
Okay.
incredible. And I have Prince Purple Rain.
Oh,
Okay.
girl.
The two rivals there. We
Let me
could
pull out my Shania Twain and my Jewel.
Yes, that's what I was saying.
I listen
You
to
gotta
Shania
throw Brandy's
Twain.
Full Moon album in there too.
And let me talk about, you know what? I already talked about Brandi. I can't keep talking about Brandi the whole time. I gotta give somebody else some love.
Wow, I have to thank you guys. You've been, real fun, and your personality. So this was worth 3.5 years of.
Oh,
I still have
thank
the interview. It
you.
was like 21st of December, 2021. It's 5 p.m. Eastern time, and yet no one showed up. I was just staying here, but I am glad it
Oh,
finally has come through.
yes.
And,
So sorry. I wish we would have like known about it, like because there's
Yeah, we
no
would have
way that
never
we
not just
would
showed
not
up.
show up for an interview. Like that is totally not
Yeah,
us.
Well, I can't
So
no.
believe that you're an
yeah,
introvert, and that's so. Yeah, you've
yeah.
been far but an introvert, but you guys have been really been special, and we've been generous of your time, and definitely appreciate being able to at least shed a light of a group that we haven't really seen and show the fun side. So I really appreciate the time and everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you.
Yes,
Yes,
thank you so much for having us. It was worth the wait.
yes. Okay.
Amazing.
Hey guys, thanks for watching. Thanks for being a part of Halftime Chat. Please remember to subscribe, share, and comment. But most importantly, why don't you become a member of Halftime Chat? We've got amazing videos, amazing perks, and being able to support the channel. But anyway, thanks for watching. Take care.
I never participated in that kind.
And somewhere in between
us for even loving us, on which I did miss you really.
What was it like growing up?
she's still making an impact on 4 houses down.
I have a couple of pieces.
Trying to get this one and that one.
That works for you, but just for me,
No. Okay.
They don't understand what Jonas' voice winning all spirits.
Play it.
I mean, I love all different genres.